This is the Toyota RAV4, and I think it's easy for a lot of people to forget just how important the RAV4 is to the way we look at vehicles today. The RAV4, along with the CR-V, were the pioneers in the compact utility space, or the cute ute category, and they've continued to sell very, very well, usually in the top 3 in terms of sales in Canada, and there's a reason why a lot of people go to the Bank of Toyota, deposit their money in, drive one of these vehicles for many years, and then sell them as a known entity in the resale marketplace. It's probably not going to be that far in the future that compact SUV sales outstrip compact cars, which has been the cornerstone of the Canadian marketplace. This vehicle was refreshed a couple of years ago, so we're going to have a look at what it offers, and it's a very competitive segment out there. First of all, Toyota wanted to get away from a practical, sensible purchase to one that has a little bit more passion. The RAV4 now has an edgy front to it. I love the character lines that go down the side. I especially like the tail lights that are part of the aerodynamics package that actually protrude from the back of the vehicle. My wife has had a chance to drive this for a few days, and the one thing she commented on is, I like the way it looks. One thing that definitely could use updating are the cheap looking steel wheels with hubcaps. In this day and age, I think alloys are the way to go. For example, when you look at the mid-size car marketplace, like the Honda Accord, it costs about the same price as this, but it comes standard with alloy wheels, and I wish they would do something about that. The cargo hatch at the back, my wife found a little hard to lift and to close. I think it's more of a function that she's used to having a power tailgate, but that's something that you want to check out if you're a woman that's trying one of these vehicles to see if you find the tailgate a little bit too heavy. This is now the basis for the new Lexus compact SUV, the NX. And you can kind of see the similarity between the two. The Lexus is a totally different product, especially on the inside. But overall, this RAV4 continues to be one of the top sellers in this space for good reason. When they set about redoing this RAV4 a couple of years ago, they kept the 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine because it does a good job, to be honest with you. 176 horsepower. It's no problem at all. And the big improvement was going to a 6-speed automatic transmission. And it really does a wonderful job of matching to that 176 horsepower, getting you away from light, cruising with ease, and it is effortless really to drive in the city. Combine that with excellent outward visibility, very light steering, which a lot of women particularly like. Some guys say maybe it feels a little bit vague, but the reality is it's a city commuter, and people are going to be using it, driving to and from work, going to the grocery store, doing all those sorts of things, and it does a fantastic job. Easy to park, easy to maneuver, easy to see out of. And it also gets very good fuel economy. A couple of other tricks are the inclusion of an eco mode and a sport mode. When you start the car, it stays in kind of the neutral normal mode. You have an eco button underneath the dash, you can push that, and it ekes out better fuel economy by changing the mapping of the transmission. And the sport mode does the opposite. It gets more out of the shifts and keeps those revs just a little bit longer to make the vehicle seem a little bit more dynamic. It's nice to be able to tailor that. In addition, there's a little light on the dashboard that comes on like a leaf. It says Eco, and it lets you know you're driving more efficiently. So those things all come together to make it a very good vehicle for commuting every day. Is there anything to really fault with the way it drives? Not really. One of the reasons for the success story of the RAV4 is it's always been a very compelling vehicle on price. It starts at $23,870 in Canada. You get some nice features, Bluetooth connectivity, you get power windows and door locks, steering wheel controls for the radio, tilt and telescopic steering. You also get the manual adjustable driver's seat. Now, the vehicle that we're in here is the LE all-wheel drive. That's kind of the base model for all-wheel drive, but it has a convenience package, and this one is probably the most popular for Toyota because it brings the price to just under $29,000. The base price is $26,135. You add the $1,500 option package in there that includes the upgrade to the 6.1-inch display audio, heated front seats, and that's why it's going to sell, because it's got those heated front seats, backup camera, and a 6-speaker stereo. That brings the price with freight to just under $30,000. That's where a lot of people shop. You can go all the way up to $33,000 if you want to get the limited all-wheel drive. It's got this application to the front of the dashboard that protrudes out like a shelf below the radio, and it does a good job of updating the interior. Unfortunately, kind of hides the buttons that are underneath that. That's where you have your heated seats. That's where you have the sport button for the transmission and also your USB connectivity. So it kind of obscures that. That's a basic ergonomic problem I have with this vehicle. Other than that, outward visibility is fantastic. You have the height adjustable seat. The rest of the interior still has a lot of hard plastic, and that's where this vehicle is kind of falling short. When you look at, for example, the new Rogue from Nissan or the new Cherokee from Jeep, they have much more refinement on the inside of their vehicles, and they're competing at the same price as this RAV4. The rest of the interior, my wife and kids have had a chance to use this vehicle for several days. My wife found the seats comfortable, outward visibility great. The kids never complained about the amount of space in the back. However, they did complain when they had a friend in the middle that the seat belt for the third person in the back seat really is clumsy. It comes down from the roof and is a bit of a pain in the neck to attach. Instead of having the seat belt attached to the seat back, it hangs down from the roof, and that's just something that could be improved. The cargo space around the back is fantastic, so functionality, there's no problem. I would upgrade to the bigger screen, but the thing is that there's a bit of glare on there, and the buttons to change the radio, for example, on the screen, because it is touch sensitive, are a little bit small, but these are things you do get used to when you use a vehicle every single day. This Toyota RAV4 does everything perfectly well. It's easy to maneuver in the city. The pickup and takeoff is really quite good. It's now got a 6-speed automatic transmission. It's thrifty on fuel. It's not too expensive to buy. It's functional, lots of room for everybody on the inside. But as I mentioned off the top, this is a very hyper-competitive segment now, and Toyota has a very good product on their hands. But if you look at some of the competition like the Nissan Rogue, which is setting all kinds of sales records, I think Toyota needs to take what they have here, which is a Diamond, and just polish it a bit more. A little more attention to detail on the inside. Nicer amenities, a better ergonomic package for the driver. They've got a winner on their hands. I think they just need to keep pressing forward and improving what's already a fantastic vehicle.